about design thinking in action. We're going to see some case studies and some real-life examples. Thank you for being here today as we are going to go into some real-life examples and case studies that showcase how design thinking has been applied to solve complex problems and derive initiative across various industries. While we've already explored the core principle of design thinking, that is empathy, ideation, prototyping, and testing, it is equally important to see how this methodology is translated into action in the real world. First, we're going to talk about is IDEO and the design of the first mouse for Apple. One of the earliest and the most famous examples of design thinking comes from IDEO, the global design company that helps revolutionize the product design. In the mid-1980s, Apple has been struggling with the design of its first computer mouse. The technology was there, but the user experience was lacking. There was issues with the usability and the overall comfort of the product. The IDEO applied design thinking to solve this challenge using the empathy phase to observe how people interact with existing mice, including gathering feedback from users on what works and what doesn't. During the define stage, they identify the user needs a device that is simple and comfortable to use. In the ideate phase, they explored many creative solutions and prototypes, experimenting with different shapes, size, and materials for the mouse. Their approach allowed them to refine the design continuously. The end result was the design of the first Apple mouse, sleek, functional, and user-friendly. This case study highlights how design thinking can create meaningful initiative by focusing on the end user experience. The success of the Apple mouse shows that the design thinking has derived product development that meets both technical needs and users' expectations, transforming a challenge problem into a simple and elegant solution. Second one we're going to talk about is Airbnb, reimagining the travel experience. Another fantastic example of design thinking in action comes from Airbnb, the online marketplace for lodging and travel experience. When Airbnb started in 2008, it was a small platform where people could rent their homes. However, the company faced a major challenge. Users were hesitant to trust strangers with their homes, and many guests were uncertain about the quality of the properties listed. To tackle this, Airbnb applied design thinking. The company focused on the empathy phase, immersing themselves in the experience of both guests and hosts. They conducted various interviews and observed how users interacted with the platform, paying particular attention to pain points like unclear listing, photos of low quality, and lack of trust. In the defined phase, the Airbnb identifies the user's biggest fears was a lack of trust and authenticity in the platform. The ideate phase saw the team brainstorming creative solutions to build trust, such as professional photography for listing and users' review to offer transparent feedback. The final prototype and the testing phase includes building a new website with updated features that emphasizes trustworthiness, like verified photos, reviews, and host profiles, and testing this with the users to gauge their reaction. This approach paid off in spades. Airbnb became one of the largest online travel platforms, and its success can be attributed to human-centered approach that design thinking enabled. The company did not just build a platform, it created an experience that catered to users' emotional needs, addressing trust issues and fostering connection between the host and guest. The third company we're going to see is the Ford Motor Company, the revolution of car development. The Ford Motor Company is another example of a major corporation that successfully used design thinking to transform its process. In 2010, the Ford faced a challenge. How could they design a car that would be more in tune with the need of the modern customers, especially in an era where rapidly evolving technology and environment concerns? Ford turned to design thinking and collaborated with its design agency to build a human-centered approach to vehicle development. They focused to understand how users interact with their cars, what they valued, and what caused them frustration. They spent time with car owners conducting deep interviews and used researchers to uncover what drivers really wanted from their vehicles. During the define stage, Ford identified that many car owners felt disconnected from the in-car technology. Their cars all had the latest gadgets and apps, but drivers did not feel that technology was intuitive or helpful. During the Ideate state phase, Ford came up with a creative concept that could blend with digital and physical driving experience, ensuring that technology would integrate into a driver's lifestyle. This led to the development of the Ford Synapse, an in-car voice-activated technology system that allows users to control their cars using their voice, making it safer for them to use. The system was trusted with the real user and eventually became a standard feature in the Ford vehicle, making the driver's experience easier and more connected. With this, I'd like to conclude my speech.